we have to define it. We as a culture don't really know what forgiveness is. The best definition I can give is forgiveness is giving up your right to hurt someone back for hurting you.
I've never heard of it put like that.
We're not minimizing the offense. We're not giving people a pass. We're not saying, oh, it's okay. No. That person is guilty, dead to rights. We're not navigating around justice, because there are some people I've forgiven, and even for abuse for someone else, but there's a justice piece. There's consequences for your actions. There are people that I can forgive, but they wouldn't be allowed on my property because there's zero trust. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation sometimes. But forgiveness is giving up our right to hurt someone back for hurting us. That's what's supernatural about all this. Because there's some people you can't forgive. Emotionally, rationally, it's impossible. He's one of them. But that's a supernatural. When you know how much you've been forgiven by God, and he's just like, just be willing to give up your right to hurt him back for hurting you. Just be willing, and I'll give you the power. I'll give you the supernatural strength. So the conversation didn't go great. I ended up giving him $100 because I felt like God's Spirit told me, give him money. I'm like, I got a young family. There's $100 in my pocket. I literally need for diapers and milk. And again, now I'm resisting God's Spirit, what I believe is God's Spirit, to obey. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I took out the money and said, it's for you. He goes, boy, you don't owe me nothing. And I mean, I was already like ready to explode. I'm like, I never said I owed you anything. God told me to give this to you. So here. And then this little moment happened. He goes, boy, I didn't know how I was going to eat tonight. I'll be honest with you. I ain't got no money. And I'm still mad. I'm like, well, apparently God loves you enough where he sends me, someone you've done bad things to, and I don't even like you. He sends me to make sure you get fed. And he was just quiet. And then I left. I literally am just, and I said, God, now I know why you brought me back into his life. Because he knew you could forgive people. He just didn't believe you could forgive him. So you brought back into his life someone that he had hurt so bad and he'd been so evil to. And now your love through me is showing him you can be forgiven. And then I knew I was done. Right then I knew I was done. And I just said, Lord, what do you want me to tell him? What do you want my last words to be? Because now I'm released. I'm done. And I felt like God's Spirit said, tell him you love him. I walked over to him and I said, Dad, I love you. And he turned and he looked at me. The first time I ever heard this in my life. He said, boy, I love you too. Not a touch, not a hug, not another word. I turned and walked out. And then he died. And you know what? Like you said earlier, yes, he got set free, but I'm the one that got set free. No longer did I have to give a piece of my heart for hating this man. That part of my heart that had been hard for years. Now I had real estate in my heart to give to my wife, to give to my kids, to both give love and receive love. And that's the power of forgiveness.